Hello, today I will show you how to use the Outlook extension for the CREATIO extension for Outlook desktop. After you install the CREATIO extension on your desktop in Home tab, you can see the options that we have in the extension. First one is Record in History, second the panel, and the last one is Configuration. We have here, when we send an email, another option called Send to CRM. This button is the same function that we have here in Send, but in this button we are saving history from CREATIO. Here we have this panel to configure. I click Test Connection to validate the correct data. In Logging we have Logging Settings. If you need to change this, you click on this icon and change the path. The next step is configuration. You can set up some settings. Categories is an option that you can enable or disable to categorize all emails that you use the option to record in history or send to CRM. In categories, I will select CREATIO. The next option step is visualization settings. I will only show cases and opportunities, so I unchecked show activities. And the last option is about. Here you can see the CREATIO version that you are using. My CREATIO settings are configured. I will apply, and if everything is correct, I will be able to use the extension. Let's start selecting one email that I need to see the contacts or send to history. And here I can see the contacts that the email has. If you want to see if it's a contact or lead, you can see it here. Alice Phillips is a contact and a lead. How I know this? Because below the image you have two buttons. The left button is a lead button and the right button is about contact. If you click on one of these buttons, you can see cases and the opportunities. If you need to see the contact directly in CREATIO, you just click on this button and you will be redirected to the contact. And the same thing works, for example, if I click here, I can see the cases more detailed. We have the same button here in opportunities. If I click here, I can see the opportunities directly in CREATIO. If this contact or account or email has leads, we can click here and we can see every lead that we have in this contact. If you want to see the lead on CREATIO, you have to click on the button that we clicked before in Opportunities and Cases, and you can see the lead directly in CREATIO. If you need to create a new lead, you click here, complete the values and create a lead. My lead was created, and now we can see it here. If we need to create a new contact, we just click here in this great button. I will select an existing account and click Save. And the contact was created. And now we can see it directly in CREATIO. If we need to create a lead, we click here on the great button, select here, and the contact is filled automatically. And create a new lead. If we click here, we can see data directly in contact. Let's go to enable an option here in configuration, and the last one here, lead settings, and apply. I will change to load again. Before we were seeing the contacts information, but now we just see the leads information. But this is not a problem, because if you need to see the contact information, you just click here and show the information from contact. And you can see it in CREATIO clicking again. If you need to see the lead again, you click here, and if you need to see more leads, you click here. All works here in the CREATIO extension for Outlook desktop. Let's go to change again to see here contact information to show some more things. So I can change it here. I go back to the email and we can see the account. If you want to see more details from the account, we just click here so you can see the icon. The logo, the main phone, website, the type of this account, and if you need to see it in CREATIO, you click on the button to redirect. Some options have this button. It is an option to record in history for a specific object, like account. because when we click here in this button, we're recording history for these contacts, not to accounts. If you need to save this email in account, you click here and we will save in account. It is the same for cases and opportunities. We will save in history clicking here. So when you see this message, the selected message was successfully added to the history, it's an information that this email was recorded in history. Now we have a category here. You click here and modify, so now I know this email was saved in history. Now I'll go here and enable show activities. When I go here, I can see the activity button here. If we click it, it's empty because it doesn't have an activity. If you need to see the email in CREATIO, you click here. You go to timeline, and here you can see the email that we have recorded in history. If I click here or click directly in the name, we can see more details from, to, when it was sent, the body, and in general info we have all contacts we have in CREATIO and in this email. So we can see all these emails. This is how you can see the emails saved in history. The next point is when we created a contact or a lead, we send it to history, and now I will send an email. And it was sent to the CRM. We can see it here. Again, if I go to general info, I have these options. Now I will show how it works in configuration, create a case, and now we can send an email. And when this email was sent, this panel appears. You can select your category priority and create a case. When it is created, this message appears. This is how the connector works. To sum up, configuration, connection, logging, visualization, test your connection and apply. If you need to save in history, you select the email and click record in history. If you need to create a contact, if the button is gray, you click it to create a new contact. If you need to create a lead, if the button is gray, you just click it and move it to create a new lead. And the last option that you have is drag and drop. You select in the text, drag and drop to the panel, and you will be redirected to create a new contact. That's all. Thank you very much for watching.